Hello, so I'm Klaus here from Joomla Pro, and in this video I'm going to showcase the NavGrid element for YOOtheme Pro. This is quite a big, extensive custom element for YOOtheme, and this is also something that we run across like almost all other of our extensions. We try to build a project, we run into complex problems, and in this case we run into complex problems with navigation on large websites. You know, when there is a lot of categories, a lot of articles, and this is just for that. It's to create a good navigation for a website. We have a demo here. It's not the most beautiful thing. None of our demos really are, but they're here to display what you can do in a very simple manner. If you know YOOtheme, I think you will understand that you can style this exactly as you want. So what we have here is, you know, like a navigation thing. I'm going to display in Joomla here. I've created a couple of, it's a demo category here with some demo things. We have cars, and on the cars there's motorcycles, fruits, countries, cities. You know, it's a hierarchy of categories, and inside each of these there's like 5, 6, 7 different you can see here there's 5 published items, so different categories, different articles inside of these articles here. And if we jump now to YOOtheme, just to display what it does, I'm going to set up this from scratch again so you can see the flow. So let's go to first, before I do that, let's also check this menu item. So the menu item for this demo is a category blog. So I've set up a menu. It's a category blog. It's for the demo category, so the one that I just showed you there. So this is not a direct to an article. This is a custom element that is used in a template, you know. So let's jump into YOOtheme and just take a look what's going on here. So I'm going to go to custom element, NavGrid, and here we can see. So there is different things like this. You know, if I go to countries and I click this, you know, you can see now these are the subcategories, and inside countries there are also some I'm gonna open a template here so we can have that on the side just to understand. I'm gonna build this from scratch now as well, so you understand the flow of things here. Underneath here is a list that fetches the links from countries, but then inside this here we have cities, for example, and I can click cities and I get in here, and now I have direct links to each of these articles instead. So to be able to create this kind of navigation, you know, and there's multiple, but I'm gonna show all the different settings that we have in here while I'll build it. So that's an easier way to demonstrate this. And I'm actually gonna delete everything here and start from scratch. So here we go. We have a template category demo is set here. So we start with this one. So first we add the JP NavGrid. And this is how it looks by default. I see here we have some Swedish categories. Let me just change that for you. And articles. There we go. It's just some heading settings there. So directly, you know, it kind of works out of the box. You know, it has some default settings, etc. It shows the active category. So that means, you know, because this is a menu item to a category blog for the demo category that I've created, it can directly find everything that is in this and underneath it, so in the tree of the hierarchy. You have a setting to display the title, so then we can see the demo category here. I'm just going to save now there, and I can click in on cryptos, And now I'm in the category crypto. There's nothing there, but you know, that's to be expected. I'm going to add, just to have a little easier navigation here, I'm going to add the breadcrumbs, put them in the top here. Let's do a new section so we have a little bit of space. So I have these now. Sorry, save. And now I can navigate back here, which is kind of nice when you work with this. So active, I show the demo category here. I can go in. There's nothing there, which is to be expected. So to be able to list the articles, you know, they link here. That's part of the function of the nav grid. But if I wanted to display a list of also the categories inside, you know, I can just create a list and I can add an item and hook that up to articles, dynamic content, and there's no maps, no map. I need to set the title, and let's also do the link. Why not add a little icon of a article and make it green? Let's see. Save. I'm gonna go into cryptos and I'm gonna see. Look at that. Very nice. Now we have also a list of the different articles from this. You know, of course, you can style this, do everything. I'm really just trying to show you how this thing is used. So now we have you can navigate, you can jump directly to this is a subcategory, so to mountains. I come in there and now it's the list. There's nothing more to show for the nav grid because there's no other categories inside there. So it leaves things empty. If I go back to categories, we should see two. So we have mountains. If I click mountains, we can come in there and see. So let's just look at all the settings that we have here. So first you have the title. This is there, you know, perhaps we want to make that a little bit smaller. You can see what order these categories coming. So I can do alphabetic order instead. And we get, you know, A, B, C, D, 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 D. So let's keep it at that. Limit items. I will show you can do that on categories too. If you have really large things, you might not want to show all the categories because it could be hundreds of categories, and then perhaps you just want to show some of them. And I will explain. We will display this better with the articles down here, but you can do the exactly same with categories here. We have a grid icon. You know, I can change that to whatever I want. Oh, that was the grid. Let's do, you know, this one instead. So we have this icon. You can, you know, set the size of the icon here. So if I go 3, make it a little bit smaller, it's going to be a little bit smaller. Then we have the subcategories here. You know, we have lots of, this is for these now, if you see. So you can set the title. We could call it, you know, subcategories here just to make it a little bit clearer. And the same thing here. You can sort them, order them, you know, tell them how many it should show. So we can, if you put that on 1, you're going to see 1 is hidden, and now you can go view all instead, and you can set the name for this view all categories instead, you know. Then you have this, and this link is the same as going to this one because, you know, that just moves you one. It's not a, it doesn't move you. Let's go in there. It just takes you to the next thing, and that's how we want it to work. Let's go back one more and just add a display count. Let's do 8 of them there. We want to show all the categories here. We don't have that many, so it's fine. We can go on here. You know, you have the icons for these as well, so you can set, you know, a different icon. Let's do the play button instead of these. Now, you know, the categories have a little bit different icons than the articles. That's very useful to make things a little bit more different, so to speak, so it's easier to navigate. It's the small things that does it in web design sometimes to make it easy. Now we scroll down, we get to the article listings. So now we are here. So in this here countries, there are 2 subcategories. There's mountains and cities, and there is also inside countries. We have these, you know, so there's Turkey, France, USA, Sweden, India. And inside this category, if I go to mountains, we have K2, Mount Everest. In cities, which is also under countries, we have Sydney, Chennai, Amsterdam, Paris, New York, and London. So this is the grid, and it's displayed like this here. So we can limit this. So articles, it's gonna pick all the articles that is inside countries, mountains, and cities, and display them here. And you can also, with them, choose what kind of you can do popular, for example. So if I do hits, now there's really no statistic here, but I can do popular articles. And as I said, we limit it to 5, but I can do 3, for example. Then we're just gonna get 3 of them, or we get 8, or we can show 15. Then we're gonna show the articles on everything here. You're gonna see all of them in there. But why we want to limit this like this is to create big, on big websites. There's some categories have 200 articles and some have 4. And then when you try to build a navigation grid, it becomes one box is this long, one box is this small, blah, 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 blah. So it's very hard. That's why we have these limited display. And instead, we collect them inside a link like this. This is something that we found on like a government website for a city or something like that. When we've done our research, you see, the city of Stockholm or Gothenburg here in Sweden. When we look at how they create these navigation things for really large website where you can go into, healthcare, schools, and etc., etc., etc. It's very different how large some categories are enormous, some categories are very small, but you need a way to kind of create an automatic grid without manually needing to build everything. So let's continue here. View all, that you can change that text. View all articles, or view more. Then we have view more instead. Show item count. That's gonna display how many articles are there totally in this box. View all icon, you can set an icon on this as well. So, I'm gonna do a happy face. We get a little happy face there. More appropriate would probably be a grid like this or something, or nothing at all. Then it makes, the indent there is a little bit different, which makes it kind of nice as it is, really. So that's that. And of course here you can do columns, so we can do 4 columns. And then you have this, you have the panel, we can do a small padding inside each of these, or default, column gap, we can make that small. We get a little bit more space in here. And of course you have the card style, if you do secondary, we're gonna get this dark, whatever your YOOtheme template, this style is set up as, you have full control of your layout. But yeah. And row gap, that's usually we put the same as the column gap, just to get a nice little consistency in the layout, etc. So I think this kind of explains this in a good way, what this does, and I think you can see the flexibility here. This is a big and very useful component for many different sites. It doesn't need to be the main navigation of a site. You perhaps create, mega menus, and you create, custom layouts for things to make it nice and group things into things and do beautiful websites. But then having a raw navigation can be very, very useful for this. So you quickly can create a navigation tree like this. And of course, you can even add this into lots of things. I don't need to ramble on really more about that. I think you will see the power of this. It's super useful. You find it on our website. You can check out the demo here. And that's it for me. Bye bye.